Welcome back, book lovers. Today we're diving into quick summaries of some captivating reads that you won't want to miss. It's called Atomic Habits. So let's get started. The first point is that good habits produce results that multiply rapidly, just like money that grows through compound interest. So, by becoming a lifelong learner, you leverage on the compounding ability of knowledge. People are predisposed to helping others who have been kind to them, and accumulating thoughts that don't enhance life will create a negative reality for you. So, small changes appear insignificant until they reach a tipping point. To get the results you seek, you need patience. A daily improvement or regressions of 1% will leave you 37 times better or worse at the end of the year. The second one is break, breaking a bad habit is an arduous task. So, what separates winners from losers is a system of continuous small improvements that the winners implement, which help them to achieve their goal. If the things you do please you, you will want to do them again. So good habits will lead to better long-term results rather than focusing on goals only. Example, if you want to lose 20 pounds, there are many ways to accomplish that, but if you change your diet a bit, good habits, you'll go toward the goals. So you should think it's a system. The third one is changing who you are is more important than focusing on your goal because it makes the change sustainable. So, the character change should be your focus, not achievement. Altering belief must precede the modification of behavior. Who you are is more important than what you do. If a habit becomes a part of your personality, the chances of you maintaining it are much higher. So you are what you believe. The next point is understanding the concept of identity based habits and using the habit loop. The most significant benefit of habits is that they may alter one's self perception. If a habit makes you feel good, make it a part of your routine. But if the habit and its result upset you, you'll likely avoid repeating it. The next point is the habit loop explains that all habits are formed in a four-stage procedure, which is the cue, the craving, the response, and the reward. To create good habits, you can adopt these four principles of behavior change. The first one is to make it clear, and the second one to make it enticing. Third one, make it simple and also make it enjoyable. Inverting these laws also serves to eliminate bad habits, like make it disappear and make it unattractive, make it difficult and make it unrewarding. The next one is you need to become aware of your habits because behavior change starts with awareness. So, what does it mean by that? Is you can train your brain to automate good habits so that you don't have to pay attention to what you are doing. After a while, the cue becomes unnecessary and your brain has learned to make the habit automatic. When something is a habit, you do it without conscious attention. Awareness is the first step to behavior change. Consider learning how to drive. At first, you're conscious of every little detail and find it difficult to multitask. But with practice, driving becomes automatic and you can execute multiple commands simultaneously. Another critical step to behavior change is to keep a habit scorecard. This scorecard contains a list of patterns you practice daily, whether good, natural, or bad. Natural habits get the equal signs, good ones get a plus signs, and bad ones get a minus signs. You have a positive tendency if you get a positive score from aiding all your habits. A negative net score indicates a negative pattern. So take your time changing your habit initially. Observe and learn from the consequences of your choices before deciding what to do about them. The next point is implementation intention and habit taking are efficient techniques for creating and maintaining wanted habits. So the example is I will blah 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 at what time in what location. So while there are many cues for your actions, the two most common prompts are time and location. Habit taking is a technique that encourages you to combine routines. You can attach your morning coffee to reading the news. It is easier to learn a new habit when you attach it to an existing one. Your environment often leads you to make certain choices that betray your identity. Subtly, your environment can make you behave in specific ways. Kurt suggested that behavior is a function performed by a person under the conditions of their environment. You should be more aware of that, and you know when not to succumb to the impulses the outside world creates for you. For example, if you want to quit smoking and your friends smoke frequently, you should note when your urge to smoke appears just because you don't want to miss out. Your environment often leads you to make certain choices that betray your identity. Subtly, your environment can make you behave in specific ways. Kurt suggested that behavior is a function performed by a person under the condition of their environment. The next one is each living thing understands the world in its way and loves undelayed rewards. So scientists have found that people with self-control have designed their lives to avoid cues that make them lose control. Rearrange your environment to produce the result you see in your life. It is easier to progress when the habit you're forming aligns with your values and doesn't require you to do things you know nothing about. This challenge is important because we tend to lose interest in boring and routine things. That satisfaction comes from surmounting some form of obstacle. Deliberate practice keeps you sharp and opens your eyes to errors that a routine may not see. For example, a person who has learned to drive may find it difficult to continue to see aspects of their driving that need improvement after a while. But intent makes you constantly push yourselves to have a sense of awareness that points you to possible blind spots. You can achieve finesse through habits and intentional actions. The next one is the brain's response to enticing opportunities is immediate. So dopamine is vital to habit formation. Most addictive substances release a high dose of dopamine. Hence, they're challenging to break. Regular activities like drinking water and eating also release dopamine. Group behavior often trumps individual behavior. If a person who's not a bully keeps bullies as friends, they may they may become bullies themselves to appear cool to the group. You need to be aware of how outside behavior influences you. It's also a good idea to surround yourself with people who make you feel good and don't force you into doing something that makes you uncomfortable. Frequency is more important than duration when it comes to habit formation. Repeated practice is better than elaborate planning and implementation when you want to develop a habit. Keeping it simple is the third principle of behavioral change. Apply the 2-minute rule. Each new habit should not take more than 2 minutes. The time should increase after you've mastered it. Do the opposite of for habits you wanna stop. Make the practice hard. If you restrict your access to habit forming cues, you will eventually remove them from your life. Here we go. So the conclusion is habits change when you commit to making 1% improvement daily over an extended time. Logical reasons are not as powerful as emotions when doing something. It is our feelings that determine what we do. We evaluate actions only after we have carried them out. When these actions are satisfying to our brains, we get reminders at a later time to repeat these actions. Be mindful of what gives you satisfaction. So, the last one is you could try this. So, create a habit scorecard to see whether you have a net positive or negative pattern. Identify one routine you want to stop and one you want to develop. Apply the appropriate methods to the habits. Okay, that's it. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, small changes lead to big results. Catch you next time. Happy reading.